Hey there, fishing fans, and honestly, hey to everyone who's ever been dragged out of bed before sunrise by someone who loves to fish. We've got a great show for you today on the news break from the Fishing Wire. New gear that's turning heads on the water and on boat docks everywhere. We'll show you how Gamakatsu, who's been making fishing hooks since 1955, is now coming for your sunglasses. Their new GSPECX Performance Eyewear is built with handcrafted TALEX lenses from Osaka, Japan, engineered to help anglers see deeper into the water with less eye fatigue. And in professional bass fishing news, the top 3 finishers at the 2026 Major League Fishing REDCREST Championship all reached for the same bait, the ChatterBait JackHammer. Just a few months into 2026, Z-Man's bladed jigs have already logged 25 top 10 finishes and over $1.5 million in tournament winnings. The story behind that run is nothing short of remarkable. And if you've ever fished a Florida flat in July, you know the heat is its own opponent. Hook's new A1A Pro collection was designed for exactly these conditions: equatorial heat, dead still humidity, all-day sun exposure, built with a weave that keeps air moving even when the wind won't. And finally, what if you could watch your lures perform underwater before you ever left home? Lure Demo has a new version for anglers that does exactly that. A compact glass tank with LED lighting and a variable speed jigging motor, giving you a full 360-degree view of your bait in action. And it's only $199. It's all right here from the Fishing Wire. Let's get after it. Here we go. Now, y'all know Gamakatsu. You've probably trusted their hooks your whole fishing life. And honestly, if you haven't, we need to talk. Since 1955, they have set a standard. So when they tell us they're getting into performance sunglasses, you better believe I sat up straight. Meet the GSPECX, Gamakatsu's brand new performance eyewear line built from the water up specifically for anglers. And they didn't just slap their logo on a pair of shades and call it a day. They went to Osaka, Japan, and partnered with TALEX, one of the most respected lens makers in the world, to handcraft the optics for this thing. 6 lens colors, each one tuned to a specific condition, from bluebird high noon sun to that tricky low light early morning bite. And yes, full UV 400 protection. That's 99% of harmful rays blocked, going further than most lenses on the market. But don't take my word for it. Gamakatsu brought in some of their touring pros to put these to the test. Let's hear what they've got to say.
We've trusted Gamakatsu with our hooks for years, and most anglers do, and now they're coming into the sunglasses world.
90% of my fishing is done with my sunglasses.
You see stuff in the water better, you see fish better.
Super clear, super vivid colors.
They set the bar high.
These are probably some of the best lenses that I've ever seen in my life.
These come with the TALEX lenses, who are the top lenses in the entire world. There's going to be 2 frame sizes and 6 different colors to kind of fit every application you want, and also every head size.
Top of the line. I don't know that I have them on.
This is going to be the real deal.
You heard Greg Hackney say, I don't know that I have them on. And that right there tells you everything. Because here's the thing, a great pair of fishing sunglasses shouldn't feel like a sacrifice. They should just disappear on your face and let you cook. Or fish in this case. What makes the TALEX lenses worth paying attention to is what they're not doing. They're not just darkening your field of view like a cheap pair from the gas station. They're filtering the right light while keeping your colors true and your contrast sharp. That means you're seeing structure, you're seeing weed lines, and you're seeing that fish before it sees you. That's not a comfort feature, that's a competitive advantage. Every pair comes with a hard EVA case and a microfiber cleaning cloth, complete kit right out of the box. The GSPECX lineup is available now. Full details over at thefishingwire.com. All right, you want to talk about a lure that just won't quit? Then we need to talk about the ChatterBait JackHammer. Recently at the 2026 Major League Fishing REDCREST Championship on Missouri's Table Rock Lake, the top 3 finishers all had one thing in common. Jacob Wheeler, Takahiro Omori, and Zack Birge, first, second, and third, all on the JackHammer. When some of the best bass fishermen in the world converge on one bait at the biggest event of their season, you pay attention. Just a few months into 2026, Z-Man's ChatterBait bladed jigs have already stacked up more than 25 top 10 finishes on the Pro Tours and over $1.5 million in combined winnings. The bait is flat out producing. But here's the story within the story. Takahiro Omori finished second, fishing shallow all 3 days, 2 rods on deck in the final round, running purely on instinct and experience. In a tournament where half the field is glued to live scope, Omori put his trust in a great bait and the water reading ability that comes from decades of being on the water. He nearly won the whole thing, and that kind of performance says a lot. The JackHammer rewards anglers who commit to it, and at the highest level of the sport, that commitment keeps paying off. You can see more about that story and the ChatterBait JackHammer over here at thefishingwire.com. Summer fishing is here, or almost here, depending on what part of the country you're in. And if you've ever spent a full day on a Florida flat or working a mangrove shoreline in July, you already know the heat is the second thing you're fighting. Hook built the A1A Pro Collection for exactly that situation. The name alone should tell you something. A1A is Florida's coastal highway, the one that runs right along the water the whole way down. What a gorgeous drive that is. And this collection was designed for those conditions. Equatorial heat, dead still humidity, hours on the water with the sun overhead and nowhere to hide. The fabric is where the real engineering lives. Hook developed a jacquard performance weave with built-in airflow channels, so air keeps circulating against your skin even when there's no breeze coming off the water. This is incredible. It wicks moisture, dries fast, and carries a UPF 40 sun rating, which matters a lot more than people realize on those long days when the bite's good and you just keep fishing. The collection covers your whole kit: a performance crew, a hoodie for added coverage without added heat, and shorts built to move and dry fast. All these 3 pieces work together or separately depending on what the day calls for. And if these pieces can stand up to the elements along A1A in the summer, they'll do great no matter what part of the country you spend the summer in. It's all available now at your favorite fishing tackle retailer. Okay, finally, here's something serious anglers have always wanted and never had at home: a way to actually see what your lures are doing underwater before you leave the driveway. Lure Demo out of Charleston, South Carolina just launched the angler version of their Lure Demonstrator, and the concept is simple but smart. It's a compact glass swim tank with 12-color LED lighting and a variable speed jigging motor that lets you drop your lure in and watch it work. Full 360-degree view right there in your living room or garage. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking, but hear me out. The anglers who catch the most fish are the ones who understand their baits the best. They've spent time watching lure action, studying how a swim bait rolls at different retrieves, figuring out which trailer completely kills the action on a bladed jig versus one that enhances it. And that kind of knowledge used to come from years on the water or owning a tackle shop. The Lure Demonstrator puts it in your hands for $199. You can test rigging setups, compare presentations side by side, and dial in your confidence on a specific bait before tournament day. And yes, the LED lighting makes for some genuinely stunning underwater footage if you're creating content. But the real value for the serious angler is in what you learn. Check it out at luredemo.com. Now, everything you just saw and a whole lot more lives at thefishingwire.com. We cover this industry every single day, and the best way to make sure you never miss a story is to sign up for our newsletter. New gear, tournament results, conservation news, and the business of fishing delivered straight to your inbox. Head on over to thefishingwire.com and subscribe today, because this is where we bring you the biggest stories from the fishing business every day of the week.